Hey everyone. So now we already understood that how we can create tag summary using Python, by using domain by using transformer. Next, what we will do, we'll train pre-existing model of the transformer for our tags. So over here, firstly, I will install the lib that we needed. So we are installing datasets to get the dataset, and second is a transformer or is sentence space. Evaluate is for checking the accuracy, and Roger score is what we'll use inside RAM. And we'll use transformer torch because torch is what we are using it here, and import this bucket. So taking some time, but yeah, now it's here. I'm loading now the dataset for, and on the dataset I'm using these Amazon multi-language reviews text or data for training our pre-existing model on our dataset. And we can use other languages also, but I'm using only English for right now. And I'm loading the dataset over here. In this dataset, we'll have three data. One is train data, another is test, another is validation. You already know about what they are, so I'll be not to explain you about it. But yeah, so this is for training, this is for validating the accuracy, and this is the unseen data that it never seen before while training and tuning, right? So it's installing the data first. Data set is very big, and wait a minute. After that, I'm printing it over here, the data. Like it will tell me about the size of data, or how many there in a training, how many there in a test, validation, and what are the columns there. So we have the review ID, product ID, reviewer ID, stars, review body, review title, language, product category. So let's look into any data, like what they have it actually. Cool. We have the review body, there we have a very big data. We have a title. So title is like as a summary, right? So over here, we'll use review title as labels for us. What's its summary? The conclusion of all the text that is written by a person over here in the body. So we'll use that. Okay, I'm checking it over here, like how the data is there, how many counts are there based on each category. Why I'm doing it? Because there is a very big data and I don't want to train it on a whole data because of memory constraints, and it will take me a lot of time to train the model, right? So I will pick up the last or the least number of reviews on a category. So personal care appliances that have only 75 reviews. So I will take that for my purpose of explaining you how you can use it, right? So here, okay, I'm just printing out that which one is the last. So personal care is the last one. And I will delete this data frame because I will not need that anymore for moving ahead. After that, I'm doing simple thing, filtering out the data only of the category personal care appliances. Here, I'll be filtering out the data. Filtering out, we'll have number of rows. We have 75 on a training. Testing we have 2. Validation we have 1. Okay, and I will delete this data set because now I don't want the full data to be there, only the filtered data to be here. So I'll be taking out the filtered data, and instead of using the specific tokenizer, I'll use the auto tokenizer for getting the tokenizer from transformer. That will give me a transformer tokenizer. Here I'll be using the model MT5 small, and from that I'll be taking out this pre-trained model, and they're giving that model name. So now we have the tokenizer. What we need to do is a simple thing. We will create a function for pre-processing the data. Like we have a lot of columns, right? That we don't need it. We just need the review body, review title, and from the review title we make this into labels. So that's what I'm doing it. I'm putting it over here, maximum length, maximum target length that we can give it to the model uh, on a tokenizer side. After that, I'm mapping this function for all three data sets: training, testing, and validation by using the map. Map is a function that is there that uses parallel processing of the transformer data sets, and that's why using the map over here. And now as we have this auto tokenizer, we have auto model for sequence to sequence LM. So that will give me automatically the model that's based on these model name, and I'm using it from the pre-trained model. So that's why it will give me model in a minute. And I will use the evaluate. As I told you, evaluate is a lib that will be used here for evaluating the data. I'll be using the Rog over here as an store. So created a object of it. Now I loaded this Rog, and from here what I will do. So now we have data, we already pre-processed it, we have the model, we have the tokenizer. Next, what we need to do, we need to give some arguments to this model, and for that we already have our class for it, that is sequence to sequence training argument from transformer. So what we'll do here, we'll give all the arguments that is needed for a model when to train. So like batch size, number of training up epochs, logging how many times and in which way we'll be logging the data, and only model name. So here, as our model was Google and then MT5, right? So MT5 is the model. So I'm doing it, taking out only the model name of it and giving those details to this sequence to sequence training argument. So output directory is the directory where we'll be saving these models and on our Google Drive. Evaluation strategies on each epoch will create evaluation, we'll do the evaluation, learning rate per device, what size of data we'll be giving it per device, evaluation page size, weight decay, there's a value how the weight will decay on training, save limit, how many models you want to save, number of training epochs, how many times the epoch will be run on a whole data. So here we'll be running it for 8 data. After that, I'm giving the predict with generate. It will give me the generate prediction, and here the logging steps. Once it's done, then we'll create a matrix of it for us. Here, I'm doing a simple thing, that is getting this evaluation prediction data, predictions and labels, and then as usual, we'll use the prediction to this decoder to give me a decoded data. After that, I'm checking out over here labels, And once we have the label, then we need to get the tokenizer batch decode token to decode the whole batch. So as we are giving the data in a batch size, batch, right? So that need to be again decoded in a batch. So that's what I'm doing it here. After that, I'm doing this like once we have the prediction, then I'm like removing this slash and so like next step, next line, remove from here and giving those prediction and decoded labels and decoded prediction to this project score to give me a score of the evaluation, like how accurate this model is in giving the summary and understanding his label and body. After that, once we have this everything, we need to give this data collector to the model. Inside the data collector, we need to give the data, the tokenizer, and the model name. And that is like the way how we'll give this to the model while training it. Once we do that, then we need to remove everything other than that from the data set. Here is what we are doing is removing other columns and from the tokenized data. We have now the tokenized data and we have only the input IDs, distinction marks, and labels. After that, what we'll do, we'll create a sequence to sequence trainer. It's for training this model in a sequential to sequential manner. And send tokenize is to tokenize the data into sentences. And now the last step, give everything, model, argument, training data, evaluation data, data collector, tokenizer, compute matrix to the sequence to sequence model. And as you can see, it took me around 15 minutes to train the model. And we can see here the validation day losses and training losses, and they are decreasing. If I train it for more longer, then I will get more accurate data. Once I have it, then I will evaluate. So simple function dot evaluate is for evaluating, for dot train for training, and it will give me good result. So we have the loss of 15. That's like reasonable because we just train it for a small box and we haven't tuned it all the parameters that we gave. We just do it in a one way. And yeah, and this way we can create or train our pre-existing model for our data. I hope you liked it and thank you for watching. Next, I'll be explaining you about how we can use OpenAI API for our purpose of text summarization. So see you there. Thank you.